Time Splitters was a first-person shooter back in the early 2000s that was basically the fastest shooter for its time and garnered 2 sequels, Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect. Though the first game didn't have much of a story going on, the 2 sequels definitely did. People like myself were wondering if there was ever going to be a Time Splitters 4. Well, Free Radical did say that they were working on it and showed teaser trailers that took pot shots at other gaming franchises like Halo and I think maybe even BioShock. They were riffing off movies and whatnot in their game, so kinda made sense. And there is cool concept art you can still find today online about people from different periods in time with interesting weapons, and even, apparently from what I understand, other time splitters. So it makes me wonder if the Time Splitters were going to come back somehow, or this was sort of an in-between story that was going to happen. One of the concept arts was actually a nun with a chainsaw. That was pretty cool. Free Radical, unfortunately, didn't see the success they wanted in the game Haze, though I played it some years ago and I thought it was alright. So they were eventually bought out by Crytek and eventually became Crytek UK. And a lot of things were happening during all those years. Some fans wanted to make something called Time Splitters Rewind, which was a fan thing of the greatest hits of Time Splitters, though I don't think we've seen anything about it yet. There was a Time Splitters 2 cameo in the game Homefront, where you find an arcade machine and play the first 2 levels of Time Splitters 2 in it. And apparently there is some other cool stuff going on you can look on the Wikipedia for. But I'm here to stick with one thing, Time Splitters 4. Some years ago, they tried showing off a sample of Time Splitters 4, but publishers weren't really interested for some odd reason. I mean, a lot of people would want Time Splitters back. Why? Because it had a huge array of goofy characters for versus mode, tons of things you can do outside of the main story. And the story itself was somewhat serious at times, but really goofy at times, especially in Future Perfect. And one of the best things about it, Map Maker. The ability to create your own map. Now I know games like Halo eventually did Forge, and Forge improved over time, and that's awesome. But what Map Maker did was it gave you more customizable options and gave you the ability to create story objectives for your map that you can either share online or, from what I understand, on a memory card and bring it to your friend's house so they can play the map you made. Some months ago, people have been making videos about Time Splitters 4, will it happen, will it not? I'm hoping it does. Why? Because a new version of Map Maker that keeps the best of the old with something new would be excellent. Plus, the Map Maker music, which I'll put a link for it down below, is really relaxing and calming. 2. The vast array of goofy characters. And I really would like to see if Sergeant Cortez gets to do something like maybe explore his story when the Time Splitters were invading, when he was just starting off as a space marine, or what happens after the end of Time Splitters 3. The vast array of weapons from different time periods and the really goofy ones. So characters, weapons, map maker, and a really interesting story with a lot of quirky humor. The only thing is, I do believe that there were some suggestive things that needed to be taken out of Time Splitters, but, that's one of the few gripes I have with it. I still don't know what the future holds for Time Splitters 4, though I really do hope that the people from Free Radical do get to bring it out. And from what I understand, they would pop up from time to time with, what seems to be little glimmers of hope. And I do hope that we get to have Time Splitters 4. Because let's face it, as fun as all these other shooters are, we need something like Time Splitters back. Especially for online play. the game is fun by itself, playing with friends. I can imagine how interesting it is online. I'm Holy Mystic. May God bless, Jesus loves, and Holy Spirit forever be with you. And until next time, fare thee well.